Roger Federer hasn't played a professional tennis game in over a year, but he's in our hearts and minds at all times. Tennis doesn't feel right without the Swiss maestro at the front of it, and it's not just us who feels like that. Rafael Nadal thinks so too. And in today's video, we're talking about the Spaniard's staggering claim about his greatest rival at the US Open. Let's get into it. First up, Roger Federer is absent. Folks, it's weird not seeing Federer play the game for so long. He's been leading the sport for over 2 decades now. And what's tennis without its biggest star? The 20-time Grand Slam champion hasn't played a single match since his loss to Hubert Hurkacz at Wimbledon last year. He missed every single Grand Slam this year, and that's a first for the Swiss legend. Roger isn't even officially ranked on the ATP rankings anymore because of his lengthy absence, and if that's not odd, we don't know what is. He's been recovering from his 3rd right knee surgery, and he's made sure he takes it slow. FedEx didn't want to push his recovery process, especially at his old age of 41, and we're super glad he's taking his time with it. Slowly but surely, he will be back to his full fitness and on the tennis court soon. Next up, what did Rafa Nadal say about Federer? With Federer gone for so long, many have wondered if this is it for the Swiss maestro. After all, he is 41 years old, and he's not getting any younger. But there's one person who doesn't see it like that, Rafael Nadal. Speaking to reporters at the US Open, the 20-time Grand Slam champion said that he believes Federer will be around for many years to come. And you know what? We love the sound of that. He said that he was super excited to see Roger back on the court. The Spaniard said that he hopes his biggest rival feels healthy enough to stay around for another few years and manages to make a comeback. Of course, it won't be easy, as he's been away for a long time, but if anyone can, it's him. Rafa said that the most important thing at this stage of his career was his health and happiness, and if coming back to the tennis tour makes him happy, it would be amazing. Now, if that isn't the case, Nadal said that we should say thanks to Roger for everything he's done and achieved in this game, but he was confident that we will have the Swiss around for a while longer. Moving on, when is Federer coming back? The good news is that the wait is almost over. It's been a long and sad year without the GOAT on tour, but we will see him in action soon. The maestro is all set to make a comeback at the Laver Cup next month in London. He's repeatedly said it's one of his favorite events, and, well, he wasn't going to miss it, and it's ultra special this year. First, Rafa will be playing his 3rd Laver Cup this time around, and we all love to see fate all together, don't we? Our hearts are warm at just the thought of it, and this time, they'll be joined by the other 2 members of the Big Four. That's right, folks, both Andy Murray and Novak Djokovic are all ready to play in London. It'll be the 2nd time the Serb joins Team Europe, but it's the Brits' first time. Rest assured, it's going to be an event to remember, with the biggest stars of the sport at its center. It's also Federer's comeback, so there's every reason for this to be the biggest thing ever. Apart from that, Roger's official return to the game will be at the Swiss indoors in October. What better place to make a return than at home? He's a 10-time champion at the tournament, and he said he's looking forward to playing there. And we're looking forward to watching you, Roger. Coming up, how long does Federer plan on playing? We can all make guesses about this for hours, but at the end of the day, it's only Roger's opinion that matters the most, and we're happy to share that even he seems hopeful to stay on the tour. Now, FedEx hasn't officially announced his plans ahead of the Swiss indoors, but he's dropped a hint about it here and there. Earlier this year, the Swiss legend came out onto the center court during a special event at Wimbledon. Not only did he get the loudest cheer of the day there, but he also shared that he hopes to make a return to this special court at least one more time. We refuse to believe that the last set Roger Federer ever played at Wimbledon ended with him getting bageled, so he needs to come back. He said he missed it, and it goes without saying that center court missed its biggest star too, and we're super delighted that he's planning on returning. Of course, nobody can expect him to play a full schedule, but nothing would be better than seeing the maestro pick the events he wants to play and bless us with his presence. We'll take as much of him as we can get, no questions asked. Up next, what's Federer been up to in the meantime? You'd think he missed being on tour, but it turns out, not all that much. Roger has had a very busy schedule for over 20 years now, and while his family travels around the world with him, it's still not the same as spending some quiet time at home. So, FedEx has revealed that he enjoyed this time with his family. He said that he's happy knowing that even without tennis, he can have a wholesome, content, and happy life with the people he loves the most, and and that's all that mattered to him. It seems like Raj enjoyed being around his kids without the hassle of training and just relished the quiet of home life, and we couldn't be happier for him. Serena Williams recently announced her retirement from the sport, saying that she wanted to focus on her family more, and it's completely understandable how these megastars want some time unwinding with their loved ones without the pressures of playing full-time. Roger said that he loved tennis, but he liked this normal routine with his family, and it was a nice break from the hectic travel schedule. We're super happy for you, Roger, but it's time to come back. And that's all about Rafa Nadal's staggering claim about Federer at the US Open. Now, let's move on to some other related news. First up, Rafa Nadal draws blood. We know it sounds dramatic, but it's actually not that bad. In his second round game against Fabio Fognini, the 22-time Grand Slam champion was attempting a wide backhand when his racket rebounded and hit the bridge of his nose. Ouch. It resulted in a bloody cut on his nose, which prompted the Spaniard to walk back to his chair and lay down for a while. Now that's not a pretty sight, but before you knew it, he was back in action. Rafa claimed the game in 4 sets and progressed to the next time. He's only 5 games away from extending his lead over Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer. Next up, the Williams sisters go out. The 1st of September at the US Open was historic. We saw Serena and Venus Williams play together for one last time at a Grand Slam. And, well, that statement does not need any elaboration. It was the first time in years that the two were playing together, and while we would have loved to see them go through to the next round, the loss didn't make the moment any less special. Serena has often said that there would be no her without Venus. Together, they have won 14 Grand Slam doubles titles, so it's only fair that the two shared the court one last time before the 23-time Grand Slam retires, and it was glorious to watch. Lastly, Nick Kyrgios gets a hefty fine at the US Open. Another day, another penalty for Nick Kyrgios. Outbursts and meltdowns are nothing new for the Aussie. In this game against Benjamin Bonzi, the Wimbledon finalist threw a series of temper tantrums. He made headlines after the game, during which he complained to the umpire that he could smell marijuana from the crowd, received an in-game code violation, and constantly yelled at his box, screaming, "Go home if you're not going to support me," at his player's box, and more. And, well, that's landed him an $11,000 fine, the biggest penalty of the tournament so far. We'd say we hope he learns his lesson, but we've seen this too many times before to know that he isn't going to change, and there's no point in trying. All we can hope is that he has an epiphany of his own and stops acting like this on the court. We all love Nick here. He's a tremendous player, but his attitude definitely needs a little fixing. That's a wrap for this video. How much tennis do you think Roger Federer has left in him? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.